What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today I'm going to talk about, I know y'all going to be like, hey, didn't I just see him a minute ago in the same shirt? Don't worry about that. It's because this was breaking news. But Jonathan Allen has been okayed with him and his agent have been released of being able to go out there and see if they can find a trade partner for Jonathan Allen's services. This is something that I've talked about before. From how the report came out, it doesn't seem like Jonathan Allen that the team just went out and told him. It sounded more like Jonathan Allen requested it more than anything. And listening to Adam Peters' press conference today, it sounded like, or I ain't gonna say today, because by the time this video comes out, it might be tomorrow. But when it comes to Adam Peters' press conference, he explained that how all options are available. And I think that what might have happened is that the team might have come to him with a proposal to bring his number down this year and to extend him. But I think it was the thing where his agent was like, nah, my client deserves to make what he deserves to make. And rightfully so. Jonathan Allen, for him to come back like he did and play as well as he did when he came back, there are things left to be desired, but I don't think it's solely on him though. I think that I said this in a recent video where it's like when it comes to Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne, when they've switched from defensive systems, they've always struggled to adapt year one, but year two is when they always have their breakout seasons. And that is something that, again, is very something you want to pay close attention to, especially when you're talking about Jonathan Allen, and even with Deron Payne, because like I said, normally it takes them about a year to actually adapt to the adapt to the system and know exactly what they're supposed to do. And I think that in this particular system, again, Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne were going through the growing pains. But I understand what people are saying in regards to, his price tag and what you would save releasing him and things like that. I don't think the team wants to release him at all. I think that they're looking at it from a standpoint that they got enough money to carry him and Deron, and it's not a big deal. I don't think that they're looking at it as a thing of, oh, we can save this money and save some more money and keep saving money. Like, I don't think they're looking at it like that. I think they're looking at it from a standpoint of like, hey, you know what? What if we brought your number down, but we give you more years so you can retire as a commander? And I think that for him, he's like, nah, I want the money. So I think that Adam Peters went out there and was like, okay, let's go see what you and your agent can do. Understand this, we're going to stay in touch, because that's what he said. That's what Adam Peters said. We're going to stay in touch. I'm going to stay in touch, because if you're offered something that we can match, then yeah, we want you to stay for the same amount of years as well, the pay and the years. But at the same time, if there's something out there that we can't match, then what we'll do is we'll let you go, and we'll just, wish you your better endeavors, but we still want you here. Like, from all intents and purposes, it didn't sound like Adam Peters was a guy who was like, oh, go find somebody else because we don't want you no more. It sounded like a guy who was like, well, okay, y'all go see what else is out there, because we want to bring your number down, but we want to extend you for some years. But I think that for him, he's like, well, go see what's out there, and then y'all come back, y'all tell us what the number is, and then we'll see if we can match that number at the same price, at the same amount, or extend you. And then, because we want to make sure your cap number is beneficial to us as we try our best to build a championship. Because it doesn't seem like that Adam Peters was being vindictive or mean or nasty about telling them to go try the market. I just think that it was one of those things where Jonathan Allen was like, well, you know, understand that I want the money. And I think that I'm just as good as some of these other D tackles that's out here, which rightfully so he's right. You know, when you think about defensive tackles, there's not a lot that are great that come available. There, like this free agency, there's a few, but not a lot of them. And that's what matters the most. So I do think that that's what happened. I don't think that Adam Peters told him to leave or told him, you know, go find something because we don't want you at all and we plan on releasing you. I don't think Adam Peters is planning on releasing Jonathan Allen at all. I think that they have more than enough money. They got more than enough salary cap to carry both him and Deron. And I think I think Adam wanted to extend his years but bring his cap number down. And I think that's all that happened. So we'll definitely see. Jonathan Allen, I know that there's been tons and tons of talk over and over again about constantly trading him. Every time something comes up, it's like, well, trade Jonathan Allen, trade Jonathan Allen. And I think that what most people don't understand, maybe even Jonathan Allen doesn't understand, because sometimes I think it can be looked at as hate or disregard or anything like that. But it's the thing of where a fan base understood that Jonathan Allen was a very tradable piece, a valuable tradable piece. It's not one of those things where it's like, he's trash, dump him, even though there was some fans that would say that. That's not what they actually meant. You know, what they actually meant was like, look, Jonathan Allen is the biggest. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne are the biggest trade pieces we got. So if we can offload one of their contracts and then we're good, or if we can just move this guy, you know, like we can get Myles Garrett, but then we can get him Deron Payne or Jonathan Allen. Well, because we understand that at the end of the day, those are valuable tradable pieces. Not the fact that they're not good, not the fact that they're trash or anything of that such nature. It's just the fact that when you see something of value and you can trade it of that value, then yeah, you want to do that. But understand that those are the only pieces of value that we had other than Terry McLaurin, which we're not going to get rid of. You know, so that's why Jonathan Allen was always thrown in as a tradable piece, because he was the only piece that had some value to it. So, like I said, you know, I understand that a lot of people may sit up there and be like, nah, John, hell nah, he was trash. Nah. We all of us understood, because every time there was a top level, understand, we wanted teams to give us top level players for Jonathan Allen, knowing that Jonathan Allen himself was a valuable player. You know, it's not like he's one of these guys that is just like a fluky player. I mean, I know that there's a lot of times that I remember his second year, and I was like, dang, I didn't even know he had 8 sacks. And there's a lot of times that when it comes to Jonathan Allen, he has those type of things where this guy is getting sack numbers that you're not expecting from defensive tackles. Like, understand, like, to see a defensive tackle get over 6 sacks is a big number. That's a huge number. So then when you sit up there and get to 8, you get 7, you get 8. Now all of a sudden you start to say, oh, wait a minute, hold on, this guy's averaging these sack numbers that we were not expecting at defensive tackle. So again, you know, I know that there are going to be people who want Jonathan Allen, not only because of his ability to be a leader, but also his ability to actually make an impact on the game. Because if you fit him to the right system, Jonathan Allen can be just as devastating as a Jeffrey Simmons. He really can be. The thing about it is that, yeah, you don't see it often, but he does have those moments. In fact, I don't know what his sack numbers was this year, but I'm pretty sure, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if at least he had at least about 5 this year. But again, he's not a trash piece. He's not a trash commodity. I remember, and this was the first time that we seen Jonathan Allen actually sit up there and admit that when it came to the coaching staff that was previously here, and Ron's staff, and also the staff he dealt with Jay, for the first time we saw him admit that, yeah, when it came to, in previous years, he said, well, I'm gonna try to say what he said verbatim. He said, this is the first time that I've been with a coaching staff that actually do what they say they're going to do and not just speak it. Like he said, they're actually doing what they say they're going to do and not just speak it. I think that was his direct quote. And that was clearly him realizing that, it has been the coaching. It wasn't us as players. It was the coaching. But Jonathan Allen is never a guy who's going to be nasty about that. But you did see him last year where he was, but at the end of last season, not the season that just passed, but the season before that, when he was like, I don't want to go through a rebuild again. And we're seeing how this mapped out for him and his realization about that. But it would be nice to keep Jonathan Allen. That's just my 2 cents. I understand that most people won't agree with that. But again, it's hard to find defensive tackles that will get you 5 sacks a season, that will get you 6 sacks a season. And like I said, you're talking about 8, 7 sacks. Like that's not normal at defensive tackle. Like what the numbers we normally see at defensive tackles is 9 times out of 10, the most you see is about 3 sacks. Maybe 4 sacks. But we're talking about Jonathan Allen is up there 5, 6, 7, even 8 sacks a season. Like that's not the normal range for defensive tackles. So again, like I said, we'll see how it goes. Sad to see that Jonathan Allen was told that, but let him see what's out there for himself, because I do feel that he is a very valuable defensive tackle. And in the right system, he's a very dangerous defensive tackle. So, again, we'll see how it goes. I mean, man, hopefully they can keep Jonathan Allen. But if not, man, I wish him the best. He was one of the guys that he didn't know he shot out my show, but I knew he was watching my show, and I can appreciate that. But I think he also understands that he saw me go from criticizing a coaching staff to seeing what it's like when I'm like, no, this coaching staff is on par. This team is doing what they're supposed to do, and they're still there. But I understand the run game wasn't strong. So, again, we'll see how it goes. Jonathan Allen, if you don't stay here, man, wish you the best. But, hopefully you do stay here so you can be here to win the Super Bowl, because you've been here since 2017. So, I mean, hopefully you want to stay, but if you don't, I wish you the best. Other than that, fans, y'all tell me how y'all feel. How do y'all feel about Jonathan Allen? Do y'all feel that, let him go, let him walk? Or do y'all feel that, nah, we probably could keep him. He could probably be an effective piece for us. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and it's been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.